and then make your way to the center of your mat at your leisure, whenever you can. And just take a moment to just settle yourself into your mat nicely. Some people like to turn their leg sort of inwardly because it broadens the skin underneath here so that it doesn't pinch onto the mat. That's apparently a thing that people do. So you can give that a little go. And then when you're ready, just let your shoulders come up towards your ears and then just allow them to fall back and down to leave you opening your chest. And then take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And a nice long breath out. And as you do that, maybe just start to gently close your eyes. And give yourself this little moment in time just to breathe and really understand how you're feeling today, both physically and mentally. It's kind of like a little self-check-in. How are you today? And knowing that you're going to move your body, what would you like to get out of today? What's important? Knowing that the next 40, 45 minutes or so is just for you to practice in your own space. Let's start to stretch our body. So when you're ready, take your arms nice and wide. Imagine that you're trying to make a giant circle with your hands as they come up towards each other and meet. Lightly touch your thumbs together. Good. And then fold forwards. Okay, now keep your chest pressing forwards. Keep your arms lifted for as long as you possibly can until eventually you fold down towards the floor. Yeah, draw yourself all the way back up. Good, let's take a little twist over to the left-hand side. Might find that your spine cracks here. Mine does. Then do the same thing on the other side. Good. Come back to center. Shake out your wrists and flick your fingers. Turn your head from side to side. And then get yourself prepared for rolling up onto all fours onto your mat. And just take a moment to place your hands exactly where you wish to have them. Maybe with your index finger pointing forwards. But what feels good for you and what feels nice for your body. Good, knees are underneath the hips, and we're going to start to slowly draw ourselves forwards. Now feel that stretch going on the back of the wrists here. Good, when you feel like you've gone far enough, bring yourself back towards your heels. Good, let's bring the breath in. So inhale, draw yourself forwards, again going over the top of your fingers, wrists pull. And then exhale, take yourself back towards your heels. Good, another one. Draw yourself forwards on an inhale, and then exhale, take yourself back towards your heels. Good, this time as you pull yourself up, tuck your tailbone under and arch your back as you draw yourself over your fingers, and then shift your hips round to lead with your bum to take yourself back to your heels. Good, again, tucking that tailbone under, pull forwards, rotating the hips, lead with your bum, and press back. Good, last one. Good, and then as you go into child's pose, pull yourself up onto all fours, bring your hands right towards the top of the mat, and let your chest sink down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together here. Breathe. Good, draw yourself back towards your all fours. Give your tailbone a wiggle. Give your shoulders a wiggle. Good. And then imagine that you're like a dog who's trying to shake off water from your body. So you're giving your full body a little quick quiver and shake. Good. Let's bring our hands a little bit further forwards onto the mat. Good. We're going to lift our left leg back, press into your hands. Now see if you can lift your knee, your right knee away from the floor and press yourself up into downward facing dog from here. Okay, so big breath in, lift that knee up into a three-leg dog, and then drop that left leg down. Good. Pull forwards and drop yourself down onto all fours. Same thing with the other leg. Okay, so let's take that right leg back. Press the heel back. Keep it nice and strong. Good. Lean into your hands. And then when you're ready, deep breath in. As you do so, lift the back knee, reach up, three-leg dog, drop the right leg down, come forwards, knees drop. Good. Let's do the same thing again on the other side. Inhale, lift, three-leg dog, drop the leg, come down, and then the same thing on the right. Lift it, lift the left knee, three-leg dog. Good, and then drop that foot down. So we go back into downward facing dog. Now in your downward facing dog, just cycle into the backs of your legs, letting your calf stretch, letting your hamstrings stretch. Breathe, long breath in, steady breath out. Good, now come to stillness. Look between your hands. Now ripple forwards into a plank. Good, hold yourself here nice and strong, look forwards, and then press yourself back to downward facing dog. Now, like before when we were on all fours, tuck your tailbone under and roll your body all the way up to plank. Then turn in the hips to lead with your bum to take yourself back to downward facing dog. Again, tap the tailbone, roll and ripple yourself up into plank, rotating the hips, lead yourself back to downward facing dog. Good, one more. Strong breath in, rotate those hips, exhale to take yourself back into downward facing dog. Good, when you're ready, left leg, lifts towards the ceiling. Curl it underneath you, step the foot up as far as you can towards the top of the mat. Lower your back knee down. Come high onto your fingertips on your right hand and then lift your left arm up. Good. Bring that left hand back down. Lift the back knee and step back into a plank. Good. Let's go back into downward facing dog. Good. When you're ready, right leg lifts. Curl it underneath. Step it up. Lower your back knee down. Turn and lift to the right. Good. Come back down towards the floor. Lift your back knee away from the floor. This time we're going to step all the way to the top of the mat. Good. Now make sure that you're fully folded over your legs here. So bend them nice and deeply and try and get your hands as close and into the floor as you can. Good. Now when you're ready, press into the floor and reach towards the ceiling. Good. Take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Pull that arm up a little higher and then tilt over to the left hand side. Good. Come back to center. Swap over your hands. Do the same thing. Pull that arm up high and then tilt over. Good. And come back to center. So back at the top of your mat, take a deep breath in, lift your chest, and then exhale, bending your knees, fold down towards the floor. Good. Bring your right hand over to the outside of your left shin. Good. We're going to bring our other hand up onto the waist. Now pull on that left shin and turn your body to the left. Good. Drop both hands back down towards the floor and do the same setup on the other side. So left hand on the outside of the right shin, knees bent, other hand onto your waist, and then pull in order to twist. Breathe. You should feel this across the outside of your bum and of your leg. Good, come back to center. So we're folded over our legs. We're going to go through to 3 half lifts. So when you're ready, inhale, half lift, hands come to shins or knees, press your bum back and look forwards. And then fold. Good, 2 more. Inhale, hands to shins or knees, look forwards, flatten your back. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, half lift. Good. Exhale, fold. Good, press into the floor and reach yourself up nice and tall to come to standing. Good, again, take a nice long breath in, lift your chest, and then exhale, fold yourself back down towards the floor. Good, step both feet back so you come into a plank. Good, now you have an option to lower your knees here if you prefer, or keep them raised as you lower yourself down to the floor, pull yourself up and back into Cobra. Let your shoulders release, smile. Breathe. Good. And when you're ready, tuck your toes, lift yourself from all fours, back into downward facing dog. Good, press your right foot into the floor, lift the left leg up. Good, this time straighten out your right leg to come nice and high, and then curl the left leg underneath you to step it up in between your hands. So we're in a runner's lunge, like you're about to fly off of the start line. Good, now when you're ready, slowly lift into a high lunge. Bend a little deeper into your right knee. See if you can lean back a little bit here. Good, before folding yourself back down towards the floor. Step yourself back into a plank and then go back into downward facing dog. Good, left leg presses into the floor, left foot, sorry, as your right leg lifts. Again, straighten out your left leg and then curl your right foot underneath you, stepping yourself up to the top of the mat. Good, runner's lunge. Again, imagine you're on that racetrack and you're about to hear the gun to let yourself propel forwards. Good, before you do, lift into a high lunge, bend deeply into that front knee, and then see if you can lean back. Breathe. Good, before bringing yourself forwards, down onto the floor. Good, step your right leg back into plank, knees down if you wish, as you lower yourself through a chaturanga and up into a cobra. Let your shoulders open. Breathe. Good. Tuck your toes and lift yourself up to downward facing dog. Good. Now just shift your hips from side to side. And breathe. Good. Now bend your knees deeply, look between your hands and run your feet towards the top of the mat. Good. Once you fold over your legs, roll up nice and slowly to standing. Good. Inhale to reach your hands towards the ceiling. Breathe.
I didn't get that.
Oh.
Could you try again?
The Apple Watch thinks I'm talking to it. Good. Inhale, lift your hands up nice and high, and then exhale to fold back down towards the floor. Good. Now we're going to lift our left foot away from the floor and press it into our right knee, while you press your right knee into the left. Okay, so you've got two forces pressing against each other. Good. Now nice and slowly lift that leg up and back towards the back of the mat. So you find yourself in a runner's lunge. Good. Inhale. Let's lift again into our high lunge. Bend into our right knee. And this time we're going to fold over. Okay. So hold yourself nice and steady. When you're ready, swing your arms back behind you and let your chest press forwards and down towards your right knee. Hold it there. Breathe. Good. When you're ready, drop your left hand down to the floor, turn to the right, and then lift your right arm up. Good, long breath in. Let it go. Bring your left hand back down towards the floor. Good, we're gonna lower our left knee down to the floor and press ourselves up so we come onto our low lunge. Good, we wanna try and see if we can get our front leg into a right angle. So you might need to bring your front foot back a little bit until you get a right angle with that leg. Good, now reach your hands up towards the ceiling, bring them into a prayer, lower them down towards your chest, and then we're gonna turn to the right and connect our left elbow on top of our right knee. Good. If you can't connect the two together, then just see if you can press your hands together in this side prayer. Breathe. Good, come back to center. Bring your hands back down towards the floor. Good, and lift your back knee. Good, now press as much weight into your front foot as you can, and then just see if you can float your left leg away from the floor, and then float it back down. Good, again, float it up, shift your weight forwards, and then float it back. Good, last one, float it up. Good, and then back down. Good, this time step the foot all the way to the top and lift to standing. Good, fold yourself back down towards the floor. Press your right knee into your left and lift your right foot away from the floor. Good, when you're ready, lift that right leg up and back towards the back of the mat. Breathe. Good, when you're ready, inhale, lift, high lunge. Good, sweep your hands back and let your chest fall over that front knee. Breathe. Good, then we'll let our right hand drop. Turn to the left, reach our left arm up. Breathe. Good, turn yourself back towards the floor. Lower your right knee down and then lift into your low lunge. Again, try and make a right angle with your front foot. Bring your hands towards the ceiling, into a prayer, and then lower your arms down to your chest. Turn to the left. See if you can bring your right elbow on top of your left knee. Press the two hands together firmly. Breathe. Good, when you're ready, come back to center. Hands go down towards the floor. Good, lift the back knee away from the floor. Step yourself up towards the top of the mat. Good, roll the body up. Nice and slowly. Reach your hands towards the ceiling. Good, and then bring them down to rest on your thighs. No, on your hips. Good, now bend each knee in turn here. Like a slow mince. Just to stretch out your hamstrings just a little bit more. Good. And then bring your feet hip distance apart at the top of your mat. Good. Weight goes over to your right foot as you lift your left leg up. Good. Now tilt forwards and step yourself as far towards the back of the mat as you can. Lower your back heel down towards the floor to bring yourself out into a warrior two setting. Good, have a look at your legs. If you feel like you could go a little bit deeper, just shuffle your legs forwards or more shallowly till you feel like you're at that best point. Good. Now sink yourself into that front knee and make sure the rest of your body feels nice and strong. Good. We're going to turn both palms to point towards the ceiling. As you inhale, we're going to lift our hands towards the ceiling and straighten our front knee. Okay, so inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, and bend. Good, let's go at double pace. Good, trying to keep these movements nice and fluid. Good. Next time you come into warrior two, pause there. Bend your elbow, your front elbow, and see if you can tilt forwards to connect that elbow with the top of the thigh. Good. Now reach the other hand over so you're making a diagonal shape with your body. Hold it there. Breathe. Good. Unfurl into warrior two. Hands come back down onto your hips and lift your back heel and turn your body back towards the front. Good. Let's step ourselves all the way to the top. Good. Weight into your left foot, right leg lifts. Tilt forwards. Step yourself back and then come out into your warrior two. Make sure you're feeling nice and steady. Good. Sinking a little deeper into that front knee. Good. Then when you're ready, turn the palms to the ceiling. Reach up as you inhale. Exhale as you come down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Good. Double time. Good. Keep it going. Few more. Good. Next time you come into warrior two, pause there. Good. Bend the elbow, bring it down onto the thigh, and reach your right arm over. Make diagonal. Now really reach with your right hand as much as you can here and press with your right foot. Good. Before coming back to center. Good. Take a deep breath in. And this time we're going to pivot ourselves down to the floor. Unplug your heel now and then step back into a plank. Good. Again, you can bring your knees to the floor here if you wish, or just take yourself down through chaturanga and up into cobra. Breathe. Good. Then tuck your toes and go back into downward facing dog. Good. When you're ready, left leg lifts towards the ceiling. Curl it underneath you and step the foot up in between your hands. Good. Now make sure that that left foot is right in the center of the mat. Okay, you might have to shuffle your foot a little bit more towards the right. Now when you're ready, we're going to press into that right foot and lift our right knee into the back of our left calf. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what the names of the body parts are. Good. Then from here, lower yourself down onto the floor. Okay, so your right knee is down on the floor behind your left foot. Good. Now walk yourself back and see if you can sit on the heel of your right foot. Okay, I'm hoping that makes sense. Good. Use your hands to hold you steady. Okay, if you're struggling, you can always shift your foot a little bit to the side and sit down on the floor. Good. Then with your left hand, take it behind you as you bring your right hand over to wrap around your left knee. So we're taking it into a twist. Okay, like this. You can still be on your heel like that, but it's just going to be much more difficult as it's balance. So choose whichever one you prefer to do. I'm going to do this. Good. Then let's start to turn ourselves back towards the front. Now see if you can shift yourself using your hands up onto the knee, like you did before, hands forwards. Lift that leg back to touching the calf and then take it back exactly the way in reverse. Good. Step your left leg back. Breathe. Either shift yourself back into downward facing dog or take yourself through a vinyasa and then take yourself back into downward facing dog. Yogi's choice. Good, then when you're ready, press your left foot in and lift your leg towards the ceiling. Curl it underneath and step your foot up in between your hands. Good. Press your weight into your right foot and see if you can lift your back knee to touch your calf. Good, then drop it down just behind that foot. Walk your hands back and then see if you can sit down on your heel or shift your heel a little bit more to the side so that you can bring your bum down. Okay, so the foot might be towards the right-hand side of your bum. Then take your right hand behind you, left hand onto your knee and twist. Breathe as you twist. Long breath in, steady breath out. Good, and untwist yourself. Shift your weight forwards, use your hands to help you press up onto your knee and foot. And reverse all your movements. So bring that foot back into, that knee back into the calf, step it back, then step the right leg back, then through a vinyasa, chaturanga and cobra, and then press yourself back to a child's pose. And breathe. So either with your hands extended forwards, stretching out your back muscles, or whether you want to draw your hands around your body into a more restorative form, whatever you feel like would be most beneficial. And just steadily breathe. Draw yourself up to sitting on your heels. Good, puff your chest out, roll your shoulders back, and see if you can bring your hands down onto the floor. Good, this may be as far as you want to go. If you want to walk your hands back further, so that you can stretch out the front of your body, like this, then go for it. If you want to go further, take your feet a little bit further apart so you can nestle your bum in between your heels and maybe bring yourself down onto your forearms. Okay, so at any point here, stop where you think your body has had enough. And breathe. Just feel that stretch running across the top of your thighs, so your quad muscles, and through your chest and your abs. Good, and then slowly draw yourself back up to sitting on your heels. Good, shift yourself onto your bum. And we'll swing our legs around so that they are pointing forwards. And you're sitting upright. Good, we're going to just do a simple forward fold. So when you're ready, lift your arms towards the ceiling. Press your chest forwards, then let your hands drop down to wherever they land. Shrug your shoulders back. Slide your hands underneath wherever they are on your legs, and then continue to press your chest forward until you can feel that stretch running up the backs of your legs and in towards your butt. Keep your toes nice and active here. Breathe. Good, then when you're ready, gently roll yourself back up to your seated position. Good, take your hands down onto the floor either side of your bum and see if you can lift your hips away from the floor This may be as far as you go, just holding yourself here nice and strong. Or if you want to go further, point your toes forwards and lift your hips up as high as you can into upward facing dog. And then drop yourself back down towards the floor. Good, let's take our legs nice and wide. And make sure the toes are nice and active as well. Good. Now start to reach your right hand towards your right foot. Okay? Now we're going to turn our body so that we're pointing it away from that leg. Okay? Then start to lean forwards. Now you might be able to grab hold of your foot like this, or you might be able to grab hold of the underside of your leg like this. Either way, keep your body pointing in the opposite direction from the extended leg that you're leaning towards. With your other hand, you can either bring it onto your waist or take it onto the floor behind you. Keep breathing. Keep the toes active. Good, then finally, with the other hand, reach it over as far as you can, and you'll feel a stretch running down the side of your body as well as up the leg. Breathe. Good, then come all the way back up. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so left leg is out straight, toes are nice and active. Hands reaching. Body turns away. Reach forwards over towards it. Again, you may be able to take hold of your foot. You may not. Doesn't matter either way, as long as you're reaching forwards. Then again, hand either behind you, on your waist, just to start. And then when you're ready, reach it over. Tap the body more towards the other side. And breathe. Good, and then come back to center. Legs still open nice and wide. We're just going to walk our hands forwards as far as you can, just to feel that stretch on the inner thighs and on the outside of your bum. Breathe. Hold it there. Take the breaths nice and steady. Good, then when you're ready, draw yourself back up. Bring your feet to touch and draw them up as close as you can to your body. Now, either taking hold of your feet or just letting your elbows rest on the inside of your knees. Sit yourself up nice and tall. Close your eyes and let gravity do its job. So gently either pressing physically down onto your knees to open them up further, or by letting gravity do that for you. Wherever you are, just steadily breathe. Good, then nice and slowly, let's draw those knees back up towards one another. Bring yourself lengthways along the mat if you're not there already. Lie yourself back and reach your knees like this, so they're away from the floor. Sorry, feet away from the floor and the knees are bent. Good, bring your hands down by your side. Flex your toes. You can rest your head on the floor here. And then extend your left leg forwards as you squeeze your right knee close to you, and then reverse it. Good, so we're doing bicycle-like exercises here. So just steadily moving between the two. Keep those toes active. Good, until eventually you start to lower everything down further and further towards the floor, until eventually both legs come to rest down on the floor. Take a moment just to take a few breaths with yourself lying flat down on the floor. Good, and then in your own time, bring your knees in towards your chest. And gently rock yourself from side to side. Good, now take hold of your right knee, squeeze it closer to your chest, and let your left leg lift towards the ceiling, like you're going to plant your foot on the ceiling. Hold it there. Breathe. Good, then draw your left knee in towards your chest with both hands, and let your right leg lift towards the ceiling. Breathe. Good, then bring both knees back in towards your chest, and then shift your feet down towards the floor. Good, bring your hands down beside you, as if they're reaching for the heels of your feet. And then when you're ready, as you inhale, lift your hips towards the ceiling into bridge pose. Keep lifting those hips up nice and high. Option to tuck your shoulder blades under for a little extra lift. Breathe. And then slowly lower down towards the floor. Good, let's take our right knee back in towards our chest and then lop it over the left leg, like you're crossing your legs. Good, now we're going to draw that leg back until it's the ankle that's sitting on top of the knee. Good, bring your left hand so it's resting on your belly, and take your right hand so it's over towards the back of the room. Good. Take a long breath in. And as you exhale, slowly begin to take your right foot down to the left-hand side into a twist to the left. And finally, turn your head to the right. Breathe. Nice and steady. Good, then slowly let's reach this leg back up. Take the right foot away from the left knee, swap over your hands, and do the same thing on the other side. So cross your legs, and then draw the leg back, the left leg back, until the ankle is on top of the knee. Left hand towards the back of the room. And then when you're ready, tilt over. Finally, turning your head to the left. And breathe. Good, and then nice and slowly draw that knee back up. And then take it off of take the foot away from the knee. And then slowly press your feet forwards. Take a long breath in. Fill your chest. And then as you exhale, let your feet flay either side. And let your bum, lower back, shoulders, and calf muscles sink into the floor. And loosen your jaw and space between your eyebrows. And breathe. And again, think about the things you thought about at the beginning when you were sitting and breathing. And compare those thoughts that you had then to the ones you have now. And then when you're ready, slowly draw your knees in towards your chest. Squeeze them in. And then in your own time, roll yourself over to either the right or the left-hand side. And slowly press yourself back up to your seated position that you took at the beginning. Letting your spine straighten out and lift. Take a nice long breath in through your nose. And then let it go. And flutter your eyelids open. Thank you to all of you who have joined us today, but most importantly for yourselves for coming. And we can bow and say, Namaste.